this game right now. Just a nice little line of scrimmage, though, between Longhorn Gaming and Pikesville. So, of course, not something you'd see out of these two compositions, not really any level 1 cheese, but they just want to make sure exactly where these junglers are starting, so no surprise cheese ganks or invades are going to be happening.
Boo! Boo! I want invades! Boo!
Oh, yeah.
This is why I play Blitzcrank. This is why I like Nautilus, because then people are like, let's go for an invade, but then I get told, oh, you're weird, you're playing a Mumu support, don't do that.
Yeah, you know, it happens, but I you know what, you just gotta go with that cheese. The thing is when the reason why it's so good, why a Mumu support is just that good, is if it gets ahead, it's just as good as an Alistair that is behind. So, you know, it's just how it works. But we're already spawning in those red buffs. Oh, so you do see that Avoxen is going to be going in this top side. I wonder how that's going to change up if they're just sort of, because he knows that he can't really trade early against Graves. If he's saying, you know what, I'm forfeiting the bottom scuttle to you, you can have that. I'm gonna go and make sure that I can get my sort of necessary camps right now in the Krug. Just be a little bit slower, but I do have Predator, so all I need is boots to gank. So for him, not that bad of a decision, so he does leave Jesus TMO in a little bit of a comfortable spot as well, as he can go ahead and start scaling up with some gold efficiency.
And that's the thing with Graves' jungle is, while he's powerful later into the game, he does need to scale up pretty well, and with Gragas he can already gank pretty early on. We'll have to put that on pause to see a lot of damage put onto the bot lane. We talked about the level 2 power of the Lucian Rakan lane.
Yep, it's once you saw that level 2, they shoved and forced for that level up, immediately put them back foot and forced Sivir to struggle with getting these last hits under turret. He went Doran Shield, needs the assist of his Alistair on Uwu, so he has to be in that awkward position to where it's like, oh, okay, I have to deal with it. But, you know, we also have to deal with this Gragas who, Avoxen, decided to go and invade instead, so he's doing that vertical jungling and taking away the blue buff away from Jesus Teemo.
Both sides pretty much just giving up their bottom and top halves, not really wanting to fight for this too much. And look at Crusher Cake. I would have liked to have seen a gank. If you tried to freeze this lane into Ornn, you probably could go for kill pressure, but now you're unfortunately frozen right outside of the turret, and had this jungle not been split up horizontally like that, had they not just decided to go and trade blue for blue, this could have been a kill lane for Jesus Teemo.
It very much could have been, but oh, Crusher Cake taking a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, got knocked up, might actually be killed. Just needs a flash for flash into the brush. He has a little bit of damage, but not able to get the first blood as the hammer slams him down.
And the level up, I feel like, saved Hot Wings' life. Just enough health to where he wasn't able to die to minions. Well done there by Hot Wings, though. You don't want to be seeing that coming out from Crusher Cake's Aatrox this early on. He has to be a little bit more patient now. And, you know, if you get that Ornn early, scaling, getting some items under his belt, I feel like he's going to be looking for possibly an Iceborne Gauntlet, possibly, but he might just go that sort of cheesy early build where he decides to go, you know what, Bomby Cinder and get Ninja Tabbies early, so it's literally impossible for Crusher Cake to out-duel him in those extended fights.
Not to mention having that extra amount of wave clear that you can get when you have the Bomby Cinder for Ornn. It definitely is a possibility. Already able to get that first kill over Crusher Cake. Probably just going to see the recall from Hot Wings. Could buy, but once you get those corrupting pot stacks up, because unfortunately as Ornn, your passive doesn't refill your pots, so just continue to try to win these lanes. If Crusher Cake goes for an aggressive play like that, you get 2 kills over this Aatrox. I talked about the split push potential. That's now delayed by 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, about, and especially if Crusher Cake keeps on feeding the Ornn too, if he just decides to say, you know what, I'm just going to try and play fire with fire and be more aggressive and more in Hot Wings' face. But I don't think that's the greatest idea. When you are Aatrox, you do struggle when you are behind, and you have to be a little bit more precise. You have to hit those sweet spots on your Q. You have to be able to dash in and dash out and play it a lot more like a Riven, where you just go for those quick bursts and then you go ahead and dip out and wait until you can go for a round 2. So for him, have to play it patient, but you know, you've got a Voxen on Gragas. He can decide to possibly swing that lane back into his favor if Hot Wings gets a little bit too overcommitted.
This is where I was actually gonna ask you where we expect to see a Voxen go first on this Gragas. Hasn't gone back yet, hasn't been able to get those boots to get the Predator. So this is where we have to see, where is Gragas going to make the first gank happen?
Well, and we were talking about how John Kane and Scintilla really need to make an advantage. Nope, here's a Voxen.
Oh, flashes forward and gets the kill. There is even assist credit still for Crusher because he was able to delay that back just well enough.
Yep, and there we go. He's able to sort of swing it slightly back in favor. There's the Rend, there's the Vision of Empire coming. Shima, so that's what we're looking for him to sort of stabilize it. But Uwu and Mello trying to find their own sort of trade for their bottom lane, but this is where Jesus Teemo, he wants this bottom lane ahead, and he's looking for it.
Ward spots him out, goes for the end of the line to get a little extra damage, gets the flash out of Sivir, but they knocked up Uwu, who's not going to be able to flash over the wall in time, and Scintilla will get that with the Ignite and make sure that at least there's one kill traded across the map.
Any kill's a good kill for that bottom lane right now. Get them ahead, get some advantages. Do have a 300 gold change, which is pretty much like he gets to go back and buy boots, which at this stage in the game is pretty good. It means his engagement is faster. He's a little bit harder to hit in those duels. And Azure Khan, being the slippery support that he is, anything that is mobility is good for Rakan. Another Mountain Drake as well. So again, looking more for the first turret and vision control around the river, than really looking for those neutral objectives.
I will say, it's a really nice game coming in from Jesus Teemo early on this Graves, because this is where Graves struggles. You really do need a lot of help coming in from your laners, but now they've gotten both summoners blown by Mello. Easy repeat ganks for both the Rakan and Graves to be able to pick up more and more kills and try to continue this snowball in the bot lane.
Yep. And I was going to mention that Avoxen might decide to possibly be a counter ganker for the bottom lane, but it looks like he's just decided to forfeit it and focus on his solo laners, who we mentioned are a little bit more impressive and scale fairly efficiently. So for him, keeping control on this top side of the map does forfeit that bottom lane advantage. But when you do draft that Sivir and Alistar into a Lucian or Khan, not really wanting to win that lane.
Pull back in, but that's a level 6 for Jedi, so he's got a little bit more health than Shima does now with the Voxen nearby. Jedi did have to get out of there a little bit, not want to get hit up by that Gragas, try to go for this early gank with the Predator now available. That is a lot more burst damage, a lot more speed and mobility out of Gragas that can easily get a pick.
Yeah, which is going to be super nice for him, especially into this mid lane, if he wants to sort of pull that anti-Twisted Fate or ultimate, where it's just, you know, the best way to shut down a global is to focus the lane that has it. And for right now, you did see, though, that Jedi did look around that bottom lane. Scintilla looked for the engagement to see if Mello and Uwu would decide to challenge them on that trade. But having Jedi on the map and not really knowing exactly where he was without that vision, make sure that they decided to go against that. And for now, again, just sort of resetting the lanes as it is for both mid and bot, while top lane is still, it's actually a CS advantage, surprisingly, for Crusher Cake.
It's surprising just because we do see that Balmy Cinder for Hot Wings, but he's been so careful. He's so afraid of Avoxen, who's been playing topside for so long and was spotted out by a control ward right around the blue buff. So Hot Wings knew Gragas was nearby, trying to put up a camp and get Crusher Cake ahead. So he's just been playing far back, not wanting to give over free kills because you do not want to let this Aatrox snowball out of control.
And that's exactly why I think he has been losing that CS advantage, as you mentioned, is the fact that he got killed by that Avoxen gank, or dive as it was really, and is in this presence of mind that it's like, okay, he is around here, he's focusing the solo lanes, I can't be aggressive and take this lane and make it my own, so he has to deal with that in the back of his mind. But actually, looking at the minimap, there's a lot of action going on in this bottom side. Jeez, Teemo. For that.
Was an attempted blue buff steal, it looks like, from Jesus Teemo, but Avoxen was able to get the smite down and secure his own blue buff, so Jesus Teemo, with a good invade, unfortunately doesn't end up paying off, because I do believe at this moment, the 4v4 for Pikeville is a little bit stronger than that of Longhorns, where, sure, they do have Swain who can help out, but you get one good heroic entrance onto Graves, onto Lucian, you're not going to be able to stop how much damage they put out, too.
Exactly. So for that, this awkward early to mid-game stage, you don't have the itemization power spikes just yet for those slower scaling champions who need that Rod of Ages or need, say, the full item for the jungle. But oh, nice flash coming.
Flash forward. Here's the quickness to be able to taunt up a Woo. He's taking a lot of damage. Not yet level 6. He's not going to be able to have the Unchained. Collateral damage isn't going to be able to pick up a kill. And Woo, Mellow both survive.
Oh, nice job for them. Only using the heal, though, as well. Mellow waiting for his flash to come up in just a little time, but he is healthy. And with the shield, he can just regen if he take any harassment. Speaking of harassment, Shima Pantsu did get his recall delayed by Jedi, so it does help him out in sort of keeping the lane control a little bit more equalized, and decides to go ahead and stay in for some more gold.
Has to, doesn't want to give up the Canyon Wave, doesn't want to give up a little bit of damage to the turret, especially if Jedi's just going to try to delay until that Canyon Wave does come up soon. But now with, for whatever reason, Centilla playing pretty far up, trying to get some vision control, takes free damage from a Woo and Mellow. Mellow having to back right now, hasn't backed in a while, and has been sitting on this DF sword for quite some time.
Yeah, he just had 1,000 gold, so he wasn't actually able to go back and get a Caulfield's Warhammer or just the recipe for the Stormrazor, so he just went and got the long swords. Didn't have enough to get the boots as it was, so for right now, just going to go ahead and deal with what he can. He is only 10 CS behind, so they've been doing fairly well in this lane, which has been taking a lot of jungle attention from Jesus Teemo, and that's where Scintilla was like, okay, we need this attention in the bottom lane to keep this advantage early because of Lucian being so strong in this moment of the game. So get in, get out. You have the mobility as well from Rakan to just sort of dive over the wall, so luckily they have that on top to boot. Mountain Drake, again, I don't think it's actually going to be helpful for either of these teams, though, like looking into the future, just because, sure, you've got the 4-1 possibility with Aatrox, but even then, like, Ornn can stabilize pretty efficiently.
Can, but he is falling behind. 20 CS at 10 minutes into the game isn't necessarily the best situation to find yourself as Ornn, especially when you have Balmy Cinder. Usually Ornn, great early wave clearer, has been struggling into Crusher Cake, and it's because the bot lane's been alleviating a lot of that pressure. Mellow and Woo absorbing so much of Jesus, Teemo, and Jedi's focus that this Aatrox has been pretty much left alone except for that one early kill.
I'm looking at AVGL right now. He's chilling in this bottom jungle of Pikeville. Oh, he does get found by Jedi. He's saying, hey, I know you're trying to look for this bot lane gank. Don't do that. I don't want you to. So keep away from them. Hot Wings, though, still... I'm sort of concerned for Crusher Cake because these duels are still so even. And Hot Wings has been doing phenomenal on these trades with Ornn as well. Just lucky enough, though, for Crusher Cake to not get that final proc to really get that brittle debuff for a fully advantageous trade for Hot Wings.
It's that Chain Vest doing a lot of work for Hot Wings. Doesn't seem like much, but this early into the game with no Black Cleaver yet completed for Crusher Cake, he's going to struggle to get through some of this early armor from Hot Wings. He's going to have to wait until he goes back one more time, gets that Black Cleaver, and that's when you're going to see this power spike coming in for Aatrox.
Especially, and the reason why this game is also going a little bit is because that both teams haven't gotten out of the laning phase due to the fact that these lanes are so safe. Both Jedi and Hot Wings make sure that Shima and Crusher Cake don't get out of control, and then the same thing goes for Mellow and Woo. They are playing safe, they're playing on the back foot, and it comes down again to a matter of these junglers, but Hot Wings wants to make a change for his own.
World Ender popped already, trying to see if he can bait it out, get that revive so that he can really fight into Hot Wings. Doesn't want to get knocked up, but that was a lot of health in the Bloodwell, and now Jedi is found out by Shima and Avoxen. Does get the Justice Punch, Jesus Teemo right in the area, might look for the Ren, but look who's shown up. It's Crusher Cake a little bit before, and there's no Call of the Forge God, so they have a lot of damage already going on to Jesus Teemo. Crusher Cake is going to be able to save his life around, but Hot Wings put himself out in a bad situation. 3 kills picked up by the side of Longhorns.
And unfortunately for the side of Pikeville, it was the fact that they already had crucial elements gone. They already had that Call of Forge God, as you mentioned, off the table. You still had 2 ultimates at the ready for Avoxen and Shima Pantsu, and Jedi not really able to use the hero's entrance in those 3v3 skirmishes efficiently. So for them, they're able to get the advantage. The solo laners a lot stronger in those situations in favor of Longhorn Gaming. So it's sort of a very brutal reminder that, hey, Pikeville, you can't play this top side of the map. You have to look bottom lane. And for the side of Longhorn, they're totally comfortable with it.
Look at how far ahead of Voxen is currently. 202, 94 CS under his belt. compared to just 69 from Jesus Timo. This Gragas has been playing a lot better around the map and forcing Jesus Timo to follow him, where there hasn't been much happening in the bottom lane where Jesus Timo wants to go.
And it gives him the discrepancy of Sork Shoes to just level 1 boots. So he has that extra, just a little extra push to really make a nice even trade. And this is not what you wanted out of Timo. You wanted him to be more aggressive, get kills early, because that's what he needs against this massive composition that is Longhorn Gaming. Still, bright sides for Pikeville is that top lane solo matchup. Solo specifically, I have to emphasize on that, because once you bring a Voxen into that, it's going to be disaster.
Especially with how much armor has been stacked up by Hot Wings. It's purely for the 1v1 matchup. You mentioned a Voxen getting involved, going for that AP Gragas build that we sometimes see, will shred through the health bar of Hot Wings. There's not much you can do. Not to mention Shima already having 4 stacks on the Rod of Ages while Jedi hasn't been able to complete his own. It's going to be very helpful, but if Crusher Cake dies before the World Ender comes up, great Umbral Dash to get away from the Call of the Forge God, and that's a huge cooldown burn again.
Yeah, but oh, it does give the side of Longhorn Gaming just a little bit of control in this bottom side of the map to go ahead and get this Mountain Drake. I'm a little impressed on how well the fact that Avoxen has been able to control Jesus Timo in this early stage. We're only 15 minutes in, and not even a turret's fallen. It's been extremely slow in this sort of meta as we watch these games where it's, at this point in the game, we'd be seeing 15 kills across the board, right? We'd be seeing 3 turrets down. The game is a lot more slow than what we're used to, and the reasoning because of that, again, is the fact that all of these lanes were able to win specific scenarios where it's like, I play safe, you guys aren't as oppressive, so it equalizes out. Or Crusher Cake, he's been struggling, but Avoxen is outclassing Jesus Timo. And then Shima Pantsu and Jedi literally can't kill each other, so they just got their hands thrown up in the air waiting for a fight to happen near them to where Jedi can Hero's Entrance in, or Shima Pantsu can oppress Jedi to where he cannot do that, and then he just keeps him in there.
And that's something that Shima Pantsu has been doing well. As you mentioned, trying to get the heroic entrance out of Jedi. Well, constantly Shima's been following this Galio saying, you're not allowed to leave mid lane. We are continuing this war of attrition. It will not go anywhere, because if you leave, that's when I lose.
Exactly. Well, there's a Voxen. There's that second man.
Oh, that was a good cancellation of that dash coming in from a Voxen, and they're going to be able to get Hot Wings easily, and that's that damage from the AP Gragas.
Yep, and as you mentioned, a great body slam into the cask to deny any sense of escape from Hot Wings. And unfortunately, I think that does spell first turret, though, in favor of Longhorn Gaming. And now Jesus Timo trying to see if he can try and fight Shima Pantsu off, but oh, that's damage!
Oh, that's damage coming in. Collateral damage to try to dodge a wave. The Ignite was already burned down with the Demonic Ascension already popped, just looking for a little bit extra poke onto Jedi. Probably a little extra wave clear. Pulls him in with the Never Move. Actually, this could even be potentially a kill. He's already got 7 stacks on the Rod of Ages compared to the 1. Just needs 1 more auto attack. Goes in with the Lightning. Strikes him down.
Well done there by Shima Pantsu getting the 2v1 trade. Jesus Timo did not expect that damage, and I think that's what a lot of people don't expect out of Swain. They see Swain's build and the kit that he has, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's like a sustain mage, right? No, he's burst. He will kill you very fast, and he will catch up to you to make sure that you will not be able to escape. So for him, being able to outtrade that matchup is phenomenal for Longhorn Gaming. Makes that once neutral lane extremely in favor of him.
Hot Wings getting punished constantly. These cancellations of those dashes from Hot Wings by both Crusher Cake and Avoxen have been beautiful. They get the flash over the wall, but Umbral Dash is going to be able to continue the chase. Heroic Entrance to get a little bit extra resistances, but it might not be enough to help out Hot Wings. But Avoxen actually will be traded on the other side. Timo is shown up to the battle. This could be the turnaround. No World Ender just yet, and look at how much Hot Wings has been able to heal up this entire time, thanks to the Corrupting Pot. Needs 1 more auto, though. Electrocute damage doing so much work, but not able to finish off Jesus Timo, as what looked like a great pick from Avoxen turns right around for Pikeville.
I was about to compliment Avoxen on how well his cast again to get Hot Wings back into that fight and be in that kill threshold, but then it was the footing from Hot Wings and then the perfect timing from Hero's Entrance Teemo's reply to go ahead, get the security, get the kill onto Voxen, and then onto Crusher Cake. Well done there from the top side of Hot Wings. And then for this, you're looking now for Longhorn Gaming. It's like, all right, that's a little bit of a falter. We're still 2,000 gold ahead. We just need to start opening up this map a little more to where we're really able to start forcing them into a position that they do not want to be in, which is this full 5-on-5 fight.
It was well timed by Jedi. Sure, he died in that last fight, but because he had died, he wasn't able to walk up. He wasn't forced away by Shima, we mentioned before, who's been following around the Galio constantly. So he's just like, I don't have to worry about Swain stopping me. I can now join the fight.
Exactly, and you're also for Longhorn Gaming. They're at that item advantage too, to where they got pretty lucky in that first couple of kills, and then University of Pike was able to have that luck in their hands for that dive and sort of chase coming into the top side of the jungle for them. But now we are hitting that 20-minute mark. We do have Aatrox outside of the lane, and Shima Pantsu's here as well.
They're coming in with the eye to try to slow down. If they can get the never move, that would be huge for them. But Scintilla does a great job at disengaging. 5 members strong for both teams in the bot lane, trying to see if they can fight around the tier 1. Right now, Pikeville caught in the choke point. The knock up on the Shima from Hot Wings, but nobody else is able to engage. Scintilla is bursted down by that Empire. They have to be careful though. They might lose a Woo in the situation with the Scintilla trying to go back in, but the Ignite was able to help him out and pick him up. They got a lot of damage onto Jesus. Teemo finish him up as well as getting the kill onto John K. Only the tanks remain for the side of Pikeville, and everyone has been routed. Only trade 1 kill for 5 of their own lives.
And this is what I meant magical. This is what the side of Longhorn Gaming wanted out of University of Pikeville. They wanted them into a position they were not comfortable. That team fight, they were trying to last them out with that dive to where, like, we don't have our ultimates ready yet. The Swiftness had 10 seconds left. They didn't have the culling at the ready either, and they just wanted to wait it out, but they were put into a position that they said, no, we have to go. And because of the item power spikes and the ultimates that were ready for Longhorn Gaming, they're able to outlast and completely obliterate the side of Pikeville in that fight, making it a 5-for-1 trade, I believe. And now with the Rift Herald, possibly looking for some more damage in this mid.
That was 2 turrets taken, right? Actually, no, 3 turrets, because they got the 2 tier 1s and the tier 2, plus a dragon that they're going to be able to pick up for free. The timing on that fight for Longhorns is perfect. They get an ace, they get 3 turrets, they get an ocean trick. Look at how the gold is now gone. It was only about 2,000 to 3,000 gold difference before. Now it's spiked up to 6,000 that separates the 2 teams.
And not only does that ocean drake allow them the capability to siege more efficiently, it denies any sense of sustaining this damage from the side of Longhorn Gaming towards that of University of Pikeville. And for them at this moment, 6 kills to 11. You're only 6,000 gold behind. And when I say only, it's exactly where that gold is positioned. It's actually very spread out evenly amongst the team of Longhorn, but the biggest discrepancy is the jungle. A Voxen 3,000 gold ahead, and he is absolutely tearing apart Jesus Teemo. This whole pick of, hey, let's put him on this jungle where he is going to be playing on the back foot. They forgot about the Gragas, which has been performing very well at Worlds, and you put yourself on a very dependent early farming jungler and a very early kill dependent jungler against that Gragas. It's rough, but it was a coin chance that they had to take, right? It's like, we have to think he's not good at it.
Archer Cake getting caught out top the World Ender. Probably going to have to go over the wall. Gets a little bit of that movement speed from that ultimate. It does burn Jedi's ult, but that was a lot that was tried to use onto Crusher Cake and not get the kill.
Right now, it's not bad. The thing is, the 2 ults trade for 1. Not the best scenario for Pike here, as right now pushing in for this mid lane. If they can crack open Inhibitor for Longhorn, it's going to be wonderful. Ooh, Avoxen fought it out though, so he will have to reposition and go ahead and assert himself into sort of that mediator between the split pushing, as right now Crusher Cake sort of forcing the 1-3-1 here.
Probably also going to be a turret. Another tier 2 taken down by the side of the Longhorn. We're doing a great job with this macro call. They're really running around Pikeville, making it so that they're not going to be able to do too much. Though I would like to see some of the vision starting to be the focus for Longhorn. Make sure you strangle out the life of Pikeville. Oh, now with the Baron on the table, this is what you really have to do to win this game.
Exactly. Baron's on the table. Go ahead, move that vision control to where Sure, Crusher Cake, he has TP, he can continue to do, but now you can create the 4-1 as those turrets are whipped away. Make that choke, make them have the decision where it's either we give the Baron, we never challenge it, and they're able to take it for free with their Mountain Drake, or, you know, we have to force it, we have to fight it, and we have to gamble on the fact that our 4-1 might be able to outlast them and beat them in that match.
Upike forcing out a little bit of the vision control, trying to see if they can really contest, especially now that they found out Shimu trying to get that demonic ascension, but look who's showing up. Woo in the backline with a great never move, but the quickness is going to be burned. He's going to probably have to sacrifice his own life unless he's going to be able to get the battle dance back away. Look how much damage has already been popped. Try to see if he can get the demonic ascension to be able to get that Nova, but look at Crusher cutting off the retreat path of Scintilla, and now it's going to be the Baron call.
And the Baron call it is. They do have the vision now to make sure that they have the security to do so. They also have the sustainability of their tanks of Shima and Avoxen to say, you know what? If they try and get a little bit too close to comfort, we can disengage, we can fight them. We don't have Sivir ultimate though, so they don't have the full initiation. There is the Call of Forge God.
Trying to get a little bit of damage onto Crusher Cake. Does not have that World Ender just yet because he used it before to escape. As now it's the flash forward coming in from Jedi. That's a lot of damage, but they took out Jesus with Jedi right in the middle of it. It's only the Baron picked up. Shima taking a lot of damage from John Kane, but can he get the heal up from the Never Move? He does. He gets a double kill. The backline as the rest of the team is able to rout Upike. And only Scintilla is going to be the one surviving who died well earlier in the game.
Yeah, not a full ace, but it definitely was in the eyes of Longhorn Gaming. They get the Baron, they win the fight as well, and now all lanes pushing in their favor. Gonna go ahead and to begin to choke out any defenses that the side of University of Pikeville have on their own. The Rift Herald did get some extra damage earlier on this mid lane, so that is in their sights. They'll get the inhibitor. Few seconds up for Jesus Timo. He is there. Jedi and John Kane will be there as well. So go ahead, disengage, meet up with your bottom lane with Crusher Cake, and get the bottom inhibitor.
But Coco, this is just like before when we saw the win coming in from Longboards, where they're able to get so much and they're able to blow up Scintilla, who walked a little bit too far forward. But look at that. Inhibitor gone in mid lane. They take a tier 2 in bot lane. They're continuing the siege because now it's a 4v5.
Oh, I see the Call of Hunt coming in from Sivir. They used it to scare away this bottom side defense and get that inhibitor, and now might be going and rotating to get this clean clear of their base. Possibly just recall, reset, get your health bars back to normal, then look for that top side because they are already choked out as much as you can in the mid and bottom lane.
Especially with Avoxen and Mello both sitting with over 2,000 gold in their inventory. Great idea to be able to call, go towards the top lane, because now you're going to have the supers barreling into the base of Upike. Rinse, repeat, should be another inhibitor.
And it's not great when the Avoxen is able to just completely burst your initiation and engagement tool of Scintilla just off the board entirely. Sort of puts that counter defense really in the hands of Longhorn Gaming. They get ooh, he does get the Never Move and Ren. That is half health gone. He only has a null magic mantle, so it is explained very efficiently that yeah, he's gonna hurt, and he's gonna hurt a lot.
We talked about that earlier, the fact that we saw Hot Wings more prioritizing the build into Crusher Cake, that matchup. Not really caring about Avoxen or Shima, and look at that damage coming in from the Swain. 10 stacks on Rod of Ages, has Relinomicon to delay some of the healing as well as that Zhonya's. That's a lot of damage out of the Swain.
And that's where, for me, it's the Righteous Glory. I don't think it was the best choice. It was something that he knew he needed to be the engagement tool because he's struggling, but he does have Call of the Forge God, and Scintilla is just good enough to sort of read that. If he does land a good ultimate from that Orange, it's like, all right, I can go in with my swiftness, and he's going to be that follow-up engagement, and then so on and so forth. But unfortunately for him, he read too much that his lanes were holding and decided to invest into that laning phase a little bit too long than he was able to predict. For now, Longhorn Gaming getting that final inhibitor in the top side of the map. They're looking for blood. They're looking for the win.
On the side of Upike, you have to go for this fight. They're going with the Call of the Forge on the quickness, but it does no damage at all. Even the entrance lock up enough people because Shiva is in the backline focusing 4 members away, and poor Jedi left out to dry because they couldn't do anything in that fight, and only Scintilla, the sole survivor once again for the team, but pulled back in. They wanted to make a clean 8.